Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Brad, aka Weekly White, and welcome back to Buried. Now, we left off where there was a sound and we could go and check it out. So, I guess let's check the sound out. You decided to check out the sound. No, something's not right, I say. Sorry, something's not right, I say. And if there's a mechanical noise like that, you think someone is out there, he asked? Maybe. I think we should at least check it out. They might be able to help. Yeah, you go right ahead, he says with a grin. I'll be here waiting for you. Better hurry though. Dennis doesn't look like he's in the best shape to be trouncing around the forest. But we need some answers right away too. Now, I don't know. Because leaving him here, he could die. But taking him with us, he could die. So I'm going to leave Dennis here. You decided to leave Dennis behind. Okay, I'll go alone, I say. You stay here and try to hang on. I'll try and find someone. Anyone. I give Dennis a final look, sensing that this could be a big mistake. He's looking at me like he's terrified of me now, making a moan in his throat. I turn away and start moving through the woods quickly. With Dennis all alone, I need to find the crew and get help right away. Every tree out here looks exactly the same. I grew up in the country and can find my way around the forest without much of a problem, but I'm starting to feel a little disorientated. I'm leaning against a tree where I see something that has no business being here. Our logging crew has been out here for 3 weeks and it seems impossible that we could have missed it. Okay, continue. Is that a house? I don't know. It's a small building, sort of like a mixture of a shack and a bunker. It looks to be made of concrete, but moss, weeds and plain old erosion also make it look sort of mystical. It looks like something out of a demented version of a medieval fantasy movie. Part of me wants to go back for Dennis, seeing that this eerie building in the middle of nowhere makes me yearn for company. It makes me feel a little like a kid that is spooked of that old abandoned house at the end of the street. Plus, that ringing noise that happens every once in a while, I think it's coming from this building. I'm racking my brain trying to remember if I've seen this before, but I haven't. I'm sure of it. It has never been here until now. Is Frank in there or Joe? They can't be, but then again, they aren't anywhere out here. Looking inside the building is certainly more appealing than walking through the woods for a mile with an aching knee. I find that I'm a little scared when I take my first few steps towards the building. The first thing I see is a sturdy metal door closed shut. Knock. Feeling a bit strange, I rap on the door a few times. Sure, that's meant to be tap. It creaks and echoes with a tough metallic sound. After hearing this response, I turn the handle and open it, surprised that I encounter no resistance. The door opens easily, even though I hear the click of a lock. Looking closer, I see that it locks from the outside. Is someone trying to keep someone from leaving? Stretching out in front of me is a small interior to match the outside. The building is totally empty. There's a concrete floor and dingy, featureless walls. There are no windows, given that it's the place an even more isolated feel. Still, I hear a ringing noise coming from somewhere in here. It's louder now, more prominent. The interior seems confining. Oh, sorry. The interior seems confining at first, but a small set of concrete steps leads about 5 feet down within a long corridor. Continue. Oh, hello. It's a massive corridor. In fact, like I'm in some kind of building underground. It seems to go on forever. This corridor is quite dark, lit only by an emergency light spaced every 10 feet or so. I assume I'm now underground because this corridor extends far beyond the limits of the building I entered. I realise that someone might not appreciate finding me here. I walk quickly. I'm eager to figure out what's going on here. My footsteps echo loudly in the dust and the dirt. If there is anyone here, it's not like I'm trying to be quiet and stealthy with the intention of sneaking up on them. If anyone is listening, they definitely know I'm here now. Just coming into view at the end of the hallway is another set of concrete stairs leading further down into the depths of the earth. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead to the concrete stairs, wondering just how far down they go. I approach the stairs, and as I take my first steps down, I get the sense that I'm crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. Continue. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. That damned ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house. The light becoming scarce and the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. As I keep moving down the stairs, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown face of the rest of my crew. Frank is married and I've met his wife a few times, a nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realise I might never again get to hear him belting out classic rock tunes during lunch break. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old, and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he has been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Out in the woods, regardless of their background or ages, I'm responsible for them. Whether frequenting the local bar after a long day or while away from their families or on this risky job, I'm responsible for them. Maybe I can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. I slowly stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. I'm closer to the source of the ringing noise now. As the door sits securely in the wall and looks just as out of place here as I feel, a sheer sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the label says level of entrance grate, transport sector, and there's a button with no label. Oh. So, inspect the panel. The panel looks like a diagnostics or alert system of some kind. Each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged, experiment in progress, shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phrases has a slowly blinking red light next to it. The only powered light to be the whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open and more light pours in as I walk through. As I do, that ringing noise or beeping or whatever the hell it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind me with a click. At this moment I can't help but think about Dennis back up on the surface. What's going on up there? Why did that bulldozer turn over? What was it that knocked us out? I hope I haven't left him in a dangerous situation. Probably. I'd been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had just become background noise. I take a few more steps and now can see where I am. It makes no sense yet. Another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colours of metal are easy to identify, but it just doesn't belong here. End of chapter 1. Now I probably should have ended the episode here like the first episode, but hey ho, never mind. Respect the dead. You and 36% of players left Tony's body where he found it. Secrets. You and 76 players were upfront with Dennis about Tony's death. Trust. You and 55% people told Dennis you believed the story. Curiosity. You and 75% of players went to investigate the ringing sound. Teamwork. You and 36% of players decided to leave Dennis behind. Begin chapter 2. We're standing on the thin platform of what looks like a fancy subway. The rails look well used but not old. There are small overhead lights that are very dim, as if they were running on emergency power. The dim overhead lights are a blessing, but the size of the place makes me feel vulnerable. Staring ahead, the tunnel seems to be endless. It's almost dizzying. But there's a small light further ahead, and then a space that breaks the monotony of the tunnel's curved surface. Another platform, maybe? This understanding comes with a very strong sense of trespassing. I'm definitely not supposed to be here. My voice blasts through the tunnel, but there's nothing replies other than my own echo. The reality of what I'm seeing is sinking in. Whatever this place is, it reaches way underground. That seems impossible to me, making anything that's on the other side of this tunnel dangerous as far as I am concerned. But of course I'm going on. Human curiosity is going to see to that now. Also, the ringing noise is louder down here. It's much more solid now, and there's some other sound, something like the faint hum of machinery. I can go either left or right. The left is slightly lit, the right is not so much. This makes me uneasy because I get the sense that one wrong turn in this place like this and I'll be wandering for hours. Looking each way, I jerk my head right as I hear the unmistakable sound of someone walking. Footsteps? Did I really just hear someone? I wonder as my eyes strain to see anything. I wait a moment before the sound doesn't come again. So those are my options. To the left are flickering lights indicating that I'll at least be able to see. There's also a humming machinery, a sign of life. To the right is just darkness, but I also heard footsteps in that direction. Go left or go right. Right, I know it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but I'm going to leave this episode here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe. And I'll see you, my friends, in the next video. Peace!